Picture yourself standing in the heart of Egypt's vast, unforgiving desert. The sun is just beginning to dip behind the rugged, sun-scorched cliffs of the Valley of the Kings. It is entirely silent. The wind sweeps fine grains of sand across a landscape that has barely changed in millennia. And right beneath your feet, a hidden world has remained completely untouched for over 3,000 years. Then, after years of grueling, relentless searching, a stone staircase emerges from the shifting sands. At the bottom, a sealed doorway bound by royal seals that no living soul has laid eyes on for centuries. Beyond that ancient stone waits one of the greatest discoveries in human history. But with that monumental discovery comes one of history's most chilling and enduring mysteries. In this explainer, we're delving deep into the legend of the Pharaoh's final curse. What exactly was waiting in the dark? Was this purely an unparalleled archaeological triumph? Or did that sealed doorway hide a deadly retribution? Together, we are going to separate the historical facts from the supernatural rumors that absolutely grips the globe and uncover what truly happened when that ancient seal was finally broken.
Part 1. The hidden tomb emerges. To truly understand the magnitude of this moment in November 1922, we have to recognize that the world thought the Valley of the Kings was entirely empty. But lead archaeologist Howard Carter utterly refused to give up. Facing enormous financial pressure and a long, exhausting string of failed excavations, Carter's stubborn persistence finally paid off when his workers brushed away the sand to reveal a descending passageway. Reaching the sealed entrance, he made a tiny breach in the ancient stone. Holding nothing more than a single, flickering candle, he carefully peered through the opening into the pitch black. When his anxious financiers asked if he could see anything, Carter delivered a reply that has echoed through time. Yes, wonderful things. It was a moment of sheer, breathless awe.
And what Carter saw by that candlelight was staggering. He was looking at a breathtaking collection of wealth, perfectly preserved in the darkness. The sheer volume of treasure was unprecedented. Golden shrines catching the faint light, ceremonial chariots, intricately jeweled furniture, imposing statues, ancient weapons, and thousands of pieces of precious jewelry. All of this was packed into the chambers, surrounding the central artifact, the undisturbed mummy of the young pharaoh Tutankhamun. Unlike so many other royal tombs that were brutally looted centuries ago, this one had miraculously survived almost entirely intact. Part 2. Unleashing the Pharaoh's Curse. While the unearthing of the Boy King was celebrated as a global triumph, that excitement very quickly shifted to absolute terror following one sudden tragic incident. Just months after the tomb was opened, Lord Carnarvon, the man who financed the entire expedition, suddenly died from a severe infection brought on by a simple mosquito bite. Almost immediately, the press seized upon the timing. Newspapers everywhere began directly linking Carnarvon's sudden demise to the newly opened tomb. Dramatic, bold headlines splashed across front pages, claiming that an ancient curse had been unleashed against anyone who dared to disturb the pharaoh's eternal rest. A global media frenzy ignited, instantly transforming a scientific victory into a tale of supernatural terror. As the months passed, the legend only grew, fueled by evocative and terrifying rumors. Stories spread like wildfire that at the exact moment Lord Carnarvon died, the lights mysteriously failed across the entire city of Cairo. Suddenly, every unexplained illness, every minor accident involving anyone even remotely connected to the excavation was attributed to the wrath of the Boy King. Whispers spoke of terrifying warnings and ancient hexes secretly carved within the dark corridors of the tomb. The curse of the pharaoh was now deeply, permanently cemented in the public consciousness. Part 3. Myth versus historical evidence. To investigate the reality of this curse, we first need to understand the deeply held beliefs of ancient Egypt, a culture where death was viewed not as an end, but as a dangerous new beginning. There is a massive, stark contrast between sensational newspaper headlines and actual historical reality. Yes, to the ancient Egyptians, preserving the body through mummification and packing tombs with wealth was absolutely essential for the journey into eternity. And while a few ancient Egyptian tombs did contain minor warnings to ward off grave robbers, the media wildly claimed there was a specific supernatural curse inscription promising swift death to intruders. The reality? Researchers found absolutely zero evidence of any dramatic curse inscription inside Tutankhamun's burial chamber. The famous curse described in the papers simply did not exist on the tomb walls. And when we actually map out the fates of the people involved, the supernatural myth completely falls apart. It's true, Lord Carnarvon died just months later, but Howard Carter, The very man who first breached the tomb and spent years working inside it survived for more than 16 years after opening the burial chamber, eventually passing away from natural causes. Furthermore, several other members of the excavation team who spent extensive time handling the artifact lived well into their golden years. If a deadly supernatural curse truly protected the tomb, it inexplicably failed to affect the very people who disturbed it the most. That is the real key to this investigation. If there was no ancient curse, why has this legend survived for over a century? The answer lies in human psychology and the media landscape of the 1920s. Newspapers back then were locked in fierce, cutthroat competition for readers. Dramatic stories about ancient curses and mysterious deaths were incredibly profitable, and they attracted massive public attention. Soon, every unrelated illness connected to anyone on the dig became a sensational headline. Over time, mere coincidence was so heavily blended with rumor that the legend became stronger and more widely believed than the historical evidence itself.
Part 4. Science examines the legend. While historians have definitively dismantled the media myths, modern scientists have conducted their own fascinating autopsy of the supposed curse. Medical researchers have looked very closely at what actually happens when humans enter an enclosed, ancient environment that has been sealed incredibly tight for 3 millennia. And they outline a few scientifically possible hazards. First, organic materials left in tombs can allow mold spores, bacteria, and fungi to thrive in the dark. Second, over centuries, these airborne toxins can concentrate and become genuinely dangerous. Finally, the incredibly poor air quality could certainly affect the respiratory health of early explorers upon their initial entry. But it is vital to emphasize, while these biological realities are scientifically sound theories, absolutely no evidence has ever proven that they caused the specific deaths linked to King Tut's tomb. That is an absolutely crucial distinction. While the curse has been thoroughly debunked, science has successfully unlocked remarkable factual details about Tutankhamun's actual life. Modern CT scans and DNA studies have revealed that he became king as a mere child. The evidence shows he likely suffered from several inherited health problems, and physical remains indicate he heavily relied on walking sticks because of a severely damaged foot. Yet despite having the boy king's physical remains, researchers still hotly debate whether he died from disease, a genetic disorder, a sudden tragic injury, or a combination of all three. Even today, his exact cause of death remains a genuine, unsolved mystery. Today, the Valley of the Kings continues to surprise archaeologists, but they are no longer searching with just flickering candles. They are deploying ground-penetrating radar, high-resolution imaging, and advanced DNA analysis. These incredible modern technologies allow researchers to essentially see beneath the Egyptian desert and study ancient artifacts in microscopic detail, exploring the past in ways Howard Carter could never have possibly imagined.
Part 5. The True Enduring Mystery. As millions of visitors travel to Egypt today, the awe they feel isn't born from a fear of the supernatural. The historical evidence is absolutely clear. Sensational journalism and our sheer fascination with the unknown created a myth that endured for a century. The true awe comes from the magnificent monuments that still stand today, and how an ancient civilization developed such complex, beautiful beliefs about life and eternity. Beliefs that continue to fascinate the modern world. Which leaves us with this final, unforgettable question. Was the greatest curse never supernatural at all? Was it simply our irresistible desire to uncover every secret buried beneath the desert? A mystery that has captivated us for 3,000 years and drives us still today?